I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking that road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. Guess who I want to sing with me? Because I don't want to go there all by myself. Here we go, everybody go. I'm choosing heaven today, but I got to hear ya. I'm choosing heaven today, yeah. I'm walking that road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. How about love? I'm choosing love today. Oh, come on. I'm choosing love today. I am walking that road of love right now, singing, I'm choosing love today. Who's got one for me? How about peace? Here we go. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking that road of heaven right now. Whoops. I'm choosing peace today. And we're going to do passion. I'm choosing passion today. I'm choosing passion today. I am walking that road of passion right now, singing, I'm choosing passion today. How about purpose? Here we go. I'm choosing purpose today. I'm choosing purpose today. I'm walking that road of purpose right now, singing, I'm choosing purpose today. Okay, how about putting your hands together? We're going to do heaven. One more time. All you got, folks. I'm choosing heaven today. There you go. They're good. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm walking that road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven. I'm choosing heaven. I'm choosing heaven today.
Please join me in prayer. And we enter this service today looking at my passion and my purpose. There is only one life, and that life is God. That life is perfect. That life belongs to each and every soul in this sanctuary, within the sound of my voice, to everyone who sees this message, to everyone on planet Earth. We know that that life is celebrated everywhere, in mosques, cathedrals, sweat lodges, sometimes in the forest and in living rooms. Everywhere that people are present, this allness, this oneness is honored and worshiped. I give thanks today for each and every person who has come here to celebrate passion and purpose. I give thanks for our musician, our Karen. I give thanks for all of our volunteers, our hospitality team. I give thanks for everyone who came to celebrate, our practitioners. I give thanks for our audio video team. And in deep gratitude, I know that our Reverend Jenn will speak words that are given to her through the passion and purpose of spirit that flows in, around, through her, as her. I give thanks for this life and all in it, and release these words in the divine law where they're made manifest At the intersection of right here and right now, it is already done in the divine mind. I let this go, I let it be. And together we affirm. And so it is. Our first words of inspiration today come from Parker Palmer. Vocation does not mean a goal to pursue. Before I can tell my life what I want to do with it, I must listen to my life telling me who I am. From Mother Teresa, there are many people who can do big things. There are very few people who will do small things. And from our founder, the Honorable Dr. Ernest Holmes, life responds to us the way we approach it. We should choose that which we wish to embody by constant attention to it, take on all its characteristics. Let us choose to be identified with power, with love and beauty, and with peace and happiness. Let us identify ourselves with abundance and success.
So, you may have picked up on it a little bit if you've been paying attention. We're going to be talking about passion and purpose this month. My passion, my purpose is the theme for the month, and today we're talking about awakening to your passion. So what we're going to talk about a little bit today is how we can encourage one another. You know, a lot of times I'm talking about what we can do for ourselves, and that's always good and that's always positive. And yet, what goes through our minds sometimes is, yeah, but what can I do about this family member, or what can I do about this individual that has reached out to me, or someone I know that's struggling? And so we're going to look a little bit more at what we can do to support others in this process, because our passion is what drives us. It's that piece that gets us out of bed in the morning. And I have mentioned this before, but I work with clients from time to time who are like, I feel like I've lost my passion. And I don't know that it's so much that we lose our passion, but I think we lose sight of our joy. And our passion brings us joy. So that's one of the pieces that we want to pay attention to, and what that means to us. And so we all have this beautiful quality to experience joy. We have this wonderful quality of energy that makes us unique in the world. And that's such a beautiful thing. And yet, it is our uniqueness that people have a tendency to pick at. That it's like, well, why did you say it that way? Well, why did you show up like that? Well, why didn't you do this? Why aren't you more like your brother? Why aren't you more like your sister? You know, we've heard those messages our entire lives. And it's an internal struggle for us to go, it's okay to be me, it's okay to be my unique self, even though there are people around me who wish I wasn't so much unique. Anyway, so we're gonna take that and we're gonna move with that. We were born with a wonderful childlike enthusiasm. I mean, all you have to do is go look at a toddler. In fact, you don't have to look at a toddler. My 8-year-old grandson is full of passion. He is constantly in story mode and creativity, and he's constantly telling stories and playing these games. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you watch these kids and you look at them and you think, when did I lose that? When did that slip away from me? And I don't know that it's slipped away, but I know that we've turned our attention to other areas, and sometimes that's part of the challenge for us. So I want to begin this talk with this information that I found here. There's a book called Aspects of Love, and it was written by Lawrence Freeman, a Benedictine monk. And what he said is this: everything you do in the day, from washing to eating breakfast, having meetings, driving to work, watching television, or deciding instead to read a book, everything you do is your spiritual life. It's only a matter of how consciously you do these ordinary things. How beautiful is that? You can make washing the dishes a spiritual practice. We know this. We forget it from time to time, but we know this. We can sit and stare at the corner of the room and just be in that space and allow that to be a spiritual practice for ourselves. So that's what we want to keep in mind as we move through this topic for today. I have a quote here from Rumi. He says, "You've been walking the ocean's edge, holding up your robes to keep them dry. You must dive naked under and deeper under, 1,000 times deeper." He goes on to say, "Love flows down. The ground submits to the sky and suffers what comes. Tell me, is the earth worse for giving in like this? Do not put blankets over the drum. Open completely." That is just so, it speaks to me so greatly, because we tend to move forward in our lives to do something, to make something happen, to create something, and we go with caution. We don't want to upset anybody's apple cart. There's a phrase I haven't used in a very long time. And we don't want someone to frown at us or be disgruntled in what we're doing. We don't want to disappoint anybody. And so we're cautiously walking through this process, lifting up the hem of our garments so we don't get them wet while we're standing right there at the edge of the ocean. And what Rumi is reminding us of is just go for it. Take off the clothing that's impairing us and dive into the water and feel that energy and allow that passion to move through us. So here's the question, what makes you happy? What makes you smile? What makes you feel that lightness in the heart? Because I know when I'm disgruntled, I'm worried, I'm concerned, worry is probably not the right word, but I'm stressing, I'm really focusing on a problem or a challenge, there's a heaviness about me. There's a weightiness about my heart. It's like it's pulling me downward. And when I can shift that energy, and it's as simple as changing my thought. That's what we've been taught all along. All we have to do is change our thinking. As simple as, let me change my thought. Maybe I need to get up and walk into another room. Maybe I need to get up and walk outside, breathe in the beautiful air outside. And in that moment, I can feel that lifting of the energy of the heart. So this week, I want you to take time to really consider what brings joy into your life, what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel lighthearted. What are those things? And maybe they're not doing things as much as they're being things for you. What can I be? How can I be that I can feel this, that I can have this sensation? Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, tells us this: life will be to you what you are to it. Somehow you must link your will, your thought, your intellect, your imagination, and your feeling with the divine presence, which is already there. And we could actually change that to say, which is already here. The divine is here. I had a conversation with a very dear person this week who was struggling with some health issues and said to me, I'm having such a hard time with this being God. This is God showing up in my life. And I said, well, I think sometimes we take that phrase and we get a little confused with it, because we say God is all there is. God is all there is, and God is everywhere present. And that's the truth. But God isn't causing anything to happen to us. When something happens to us, a health issue for whatever reason, or some type of a challenge, what we are reminded is that Spirit is here, and Spirit can support us in moving forward, in letting go of some of the pain, of the struggle, of the challenge, of the frustration, if you will. But it's not that God is the cause, so we want to really be aware of that. And the wonderful thing about us is that we've gotten so used to some of our jargon, some of our language, is sometimes we say things and it lands on the ears of someone and they're thinking, well, what the heck does that mean?
And unless they ask and unless we notice, we move merrily along. Well, then that person shares that phrase with someone, and they don't know what it means, and now the next person doesn't. And see how this gets a little discombobulated? And that's why we're going, okay, let's see if we can connect with people where they are, and to help them understand from the place where they are already understanding. Some people on this planet are not aware of their passion. They actually dismiss the concept that there is something to be passionate about. Maybe it's the word. I've seen so many videos and interviews and comments this week about how we are messing with the English language. It's the only word I could come up with. How the language has changed over the years. How we're using words today that mean the absolute opposite or don't even come close to meaning what they meant years ago, and now they mean something else. And did you know, I don't know if you knew this, but did you know you can make up a word? You can make up a word, and there is a process where you can utilize that word and speak it and get it on a billboard and get it here and get it there, and then it will be added to the dictionary. That scares me. That makes me a little uncomfortable. I mean, yay you for being creative and creating additional words to the English language, but the process doesn't seem to be that difficult, and there's no checks and balances out there, so it's kind of like the dictionary is growing. It is expanding, I guess would be what we want to look at. One way to awaken our passion or discover it is to substitute the word joy, as I mentioned a moment ago. What is my joy? What brings me joy? What brought you joy as a child? Those are things we've let go of. We've kind of moved away from them, and now we've decided, okay, well, I'm in a different chapter of my life, and I'm just plugging along, and I'm just trying to get out of bed every day. Okay, well, let's find some joy in that. Let's create some joy and passion in that. Each one of us is a unique expression of the one mind. That's why Spirit made us all so uniquely different. We are born with qualities that enhance and expand spirit by means of our individual lives. I find that beautiful, and yet I also find a responsibility in that I have a need, a desire maybe, a responsibility to show up and be me, and to plug along and seek my joy so that Spirit expressing through me has that same sense, has that same awareness. And that's what we see when we are talking to our friends and our loved ones and people that we've met on the street, and we hear their plight and we hear their concerns, and we're thinking, yes, but you are that avenue for Spirit also. How can we make that clear? Because you can't just walk up to a total stranger and start talking like that, because they're going to run or call somebody. So we want to look at that divine spark within each one of us and look at what it means to us. And then step into that place of conscious awareness. Conscious awareness. It doesn't happen to us by accident. We're conscious and we are aware of it. Howard Thurman, one of my favorite quotes, said, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go and do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive." We've heard this before. I've used this quote over the years. I just love it. It isn't about me trying to figure out what that niche is. It's about me going, what makes me come alive? What makes you come alive? What is going on with the world around us? I was told a story this week regarding a family who recently came to the United States from Afghanistan. The words that crossed my mind as the story was being told to me was things like fled, seeking safety, looking for a new life, moving away from challenges that they could not manage where they were. And in this family, there's a young teenager. He's about 13 years old. His name is Bezad. And he is a volleyball player. Now, as I was listening to this story, I couldn't grasp the term volleyball, because I don't know a lot of people who are excited and that's just my circle of friends, about playing volleyball. I mean, I kept trying to pull another sport in there, and it was like, no, this kid loves volleyball. It's all he talks about. It's all he thinks about. It's all he wants to do. And before they left, before they came to the United States, the family, he was slated to be in a tournament or a competition, if you will, in Turkey. I mean, some really major things were happening for this young man. And now he comes to Colorado, and he discovers in the Denver area, not a lot going on for volleyball. Not a lot of things happening, not a lot of the same kind of energies and programs that he could have been involved in before, and he was struggling. And of course, what we don't know, but, maybe we don't know, but a lot of times when the refugees and the individuals who escape their situations come to the United States, they don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of means. And so what Behzad did was he discovered that there was a program that he could get into that had a tuition of $300. And the family didn't have the money. And he was beside himself. Now, here's what we know about passion. When you're passionate about something, you don't take no for an answer. You keep looking for new ideas. You keep looking for possibilities. And so he was talking to his parents, and he said, how about if we ask that woman across the street to help us? And so they did. There was a woman across the street. Okay, let's go talk to her. Well, guess what? She knew of someone that she believed could possibly help him with some of the financial process here. She reached out, the individual said yes, and oh my gosh, this young man is either enrolled today or going to be enrolled in this program. The woman across the street, her name is Reverend Bridget. And she works with people just like Behzad and his family every single day. And she found the solution. She didn't have to go find the money herself. She just found an avenue to help these people. I am certain this kid is just ecstatic because it's all he wants to do. There was a time in your life when there was something that it was all you wanted to do. And somebody who thought they were wiser than you said, nah, And for whatever reason, you believed it. I know that for myself because there were a number of times when I thought I was going to do something and it only took one naysayer to tell me no. Emma Stone gives us this quote: "What sets you apart can sometimes feel like a burden, and it's not. And a lot of the time, it's what makes you great." Those unique things about you that people have complained about are the very things that set you apart and allow you to go out there and do something magnificent and fulfilling and joyful. Those very things. So I found a couple of steps that we can take and that we can share with our friends when we're talking to someone who's struggling to find this place of passion. And the first one, which I think is the very most important, which I wish I'd have thought about this on the freeway this morning, is slow down. I don't know about you, but that fast lane, that express lane, oh my gosh, there's no speed limit in that lane, evidently, because I was struggling to stay ahead of the guy in front of me. By the time I got my what is that thing, speedometer, hit 95, I thought, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going back down to the speed limit, and he can be happy where he is or get around me. But when we slow down, we can actually tap into the best version of ourselves. We're running around too much. We're getting too crazy. We have too many things on our task list. I used to teach a class on organization skills and planning and setting goals. And we recommended that you set three tasks per day. I have gone to the place where sometimes I have a list of 15 items. Now I've got this really neat tool, it's called a T in a circle. I can put a T in a circle around any item on that list. That means I've transferred it to another day. Because 15 items are too many. So we want to slow down, take a walk. Take a few minutes and just take deep breaths. Even if your brain is still chattering and you can't get it to quiet, just take 5 minutes and focus on breathing. The second thing that we can do is change the story. We're all living in a story. Some of us didn't even write it. Some of us just adopted it from whoever wrote it for us. And so let's change the story and let's rewrite it. And let's not look at those self-limiting ideas that we were told about. Because the truth is we are limitless in the divine mind. We can do anything. We can be anything and anyone. And then the third thing, as this quote speaks to, is own your own uniqueness. Someone said, I'm bossy. Okay, what can I do with that? Where can I apply that? How can that work for me? Leadership is a good thing. There's a lot of things you can do. So pay attention to those things that really make you unique and allow that to be your passion. And if it doesn't bring you the joy that you think it will bring you, then keep searching, keep looking. Another thing that we can do is we can cultivate confidence. And that's by building that confident energy within ourselves. To stop using words like can't and should. To tell that inner critic to go sit down and be quiet. I'm still working on this, I'm still figuring it out, and I don't need anyone to criticize me, especially me in this moment in time. Another thing we can do is to look at reoccurring themes. I don't know about you, but sometimes it feels like my life goes in a big loop. I started here, and then I'm going over here, and I'm making some changes, and all of a sudden it feels like I came right back to square one. And it's the themes, and it's like, okay, so what does this mean to me? What is this about for me? Is there something I need to do differently? Is there another way I need to look at it? And then also to take time to write. I pulled out a journal the last couple of weeks and I've started writing. I might only write 3 sentences a day, but I've started writing things down again because that engaging the mind and the heart and the pen, or whatever tool you're using to write with, it does something. It creates an energy level in the body where you're starting to look for new ideas and you're starting to look for new ways to create things. The quote I have here is from Louise Hay. Such a great reminder for us. She says, you have been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. Back to my grandson again. He's just so incredible. The 8-year-old keeps telling me how intelligent he is, how creative he is, how he's like, I'm so creative. I have such a good imagination. Now, every once in a while, he'll have a negative statement and then we have a different conversation. But for the most part, he's not boasting. He's not running out and shouting it out to the world. He's just telling me something and he goes, I'm pretty smart, aren't I? I'm really pretty smart. Yeah, nope, I'm pretty smart. My dad says so. And then, and he just moves on. It's like, okay, well, we're gonna go with that. Christian Sorensen gives us this message. When your energy flows, your vibration is raised. The best you've ever felt is a result of this upliftment as the force moves through you with an unparalleled strength. Yes, you want to feel good? Raise your vibration. You don't know how to do that? Seek joy. You can't figure that out? Seek prayer support. There's a couple of tools we have that we can put in place for you and help you with that process. So one of the other steps in this, steps to discovering our passion is focus on the fun. This one's my favorite. Look at the good things that are happening. Look at the fun stuff that's going on. Don't get all discombobulated because there's a room full of people and the music is great and there's somebody over there that won't leave the cheese dip alone. Let go of that and just focus on the fun. What the heck are we doing sometimes? I mean, we can spoil the best time of our lives in a nanosecond. I don't know about you, but I know I can. I've done it before. So let's look at that and let's pay attention to that. Focus on the fun and don't get caught up in the expectations. What if we just play the game? What if we just allow ourselves to be here now? What if we just open to the opportunity? and let go of any of the negative side effects that we keep trying to draw into that place that debilitates us, that keeps us from taking that step, that keeps us from moving forward. And then the last thing on this list of steps that you can take to discover your passion and move forward is to push past the fear again. Fear, that wonderful, wonderful friend of ours, has showing up again and saying, oh, you better not. That's going to hurt. That's not going to work out well. What if you fall? What if the parachute doesn't open? Those kinds of things. Push past it and allow ourselves to have that experience of what this is without feeling hampered or held back from what we want to do. Now, the 8 points, and I didn't count them out, and I didn't say them slowly. If you want to hear them again, just watch the video online this week. These all came from Ashley White, and she took her own advice a couple years back and decided she wasn't having as much joy and passion in her life as she wanted. She quit her job, she created her own business, and it's called Your Super Awesome Life. And she coaches and teaches people how to make their lives amazing. So the choice is ours. It's up to each and every one of us to make that decision, to change our attention or to change our thinking from looking at the humdrum and the sadness and the things that are broken to looking at the things that are working well and the things that are positive, and every single opportunity for laughter, for joy, to experience that fullness of who we are, because this is how we were created. This week, let's embrace our strength and choose our passion. Please pray with me. Right now in this moment, we recognize and acknowledge the power, the presence that we know is God, that is everywhere present, has always been, always will be, this energy, this light that lives within each and every one of us. And what I know right here and right now is that we are connected to the divine, in the divine, and as the divine, because the divine is expressing through each and every one of us. And what we know about this is we know that we are never alone. And we know that there are great opportunities for us to flourish and to be joyful and to embrace laughter and to have a good time and enjoy the fun. And all of this is our right as we choose it. And so this week, may more of us choose to live in that passion and joy with purpose. This week, may more of us be that example to others. And this week, may more of us connect with one another in supporting one another in the exact same process. Because this world is designed for each and every one of us to flourish, and we can make that happen just by doing our part. It's good and it's perfect. So I know right here and right now is that all people everywhere are blessed because there is the divinity living within each and every one of them. And I give thanks for this, and I give thanks for the opportunity to bring this to prayer, where we connect our heart and our head and our awareness with that divine being and that high vibration, and we allow it to just shower down upon us and fill us and make our lives easier, better, more beautiful, and more rewarding. So I call this good. I call this perfect, and I call it God, and I know it is already done in the mind of God. And so all we need to do right here and right now is just let this go and let it be as we say together, and so it is.
The world is full of people just like you and me who dream. Beautiful, joyful visions, wonderful imaginings. But it's not just that we dream, though that's a very vital, important thing. We've got to do more than just dream. Believe. Isn't that right? Believe with your heart, believe with your soul. Stand behind your dreams and watch them grow. And even when things get really tough and your best doesn't seem good enough, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. Believe in yourself, believe in who you are. Think of the person and the rivers you've crossed. You traveled so far. Believe you've got to know your dream and your passion and your purpose can happen for you. Work, try, don't you give up. Your dream can come true. Listen, let your dream glide till it shines right up there with the sun. Let your dream fly free when its journey is done. Then it won't be just a dream anymore, but one of God's most beautiful golden things for sure. Don't give up, don't give up. Believe in yourself, believe in who you are. Think of the rivers we've already crossed. We've traveled so far. Believe you've got to know. We've all got to have faith. Our dream can come true. Whether you're young, whether you're old, whether your dream is beginning and just brand new. We gotta hang on and keep believing. Let your dream fly free. Let it glide right up there with the sun. Let your dream ride on the wind till the journey's done. Then keep on believing, don't give up, keep on conceiving, don't you give up. Believe, please don't give up. We've all got to believe.
Hello. I'm Reverend Jenn Wilde, Senior Minister for New Dawn Center for Spiritual Living. New Dawn Center is a global community, and we welcome all people, all paths, all ways of thinking, all philosophies. So know that you are welcome here, and thank you for joining our online community.